This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Bullet Ultralight by Keystone. Model number 290 BHS. Okay. We'll just start on the door side rear here. So you have power stabilizers. Okay. Power awning with LED strip. You have rear access to a the bathroom here, so you don't have to run through the trailer. Kids don't have to run through the trailer. This is a quick connect for a sprayer. You have a little outside kitchen. We're still cleaning here, but you have an outside kitchen. The only thing you have to remember about this is a 2-burner cooktop. It comes with a quick connect LP line, so you just have to remember to plug it in each time you use it. Right there, that's where this one plugs in, so just make sure you hook up the LP line. This is just the service panel for your refrigerator. You don't really have to mess with that. You have some power out plus TV signal out. And there's also a backer plate here if you're interested in mounting a bracket to hang a TV outside. This is your water heater. The switches are inside the trailer. It's full right now with water, and it's in camping mode, so it's ready to go. This is where you drain it at, so you know. It takes an inch and a 16th 6-point socket. If you drain it, because you're not going to be camping for a while, you don't want the stagnant water in there, so you drain it. Just remember to refill it before you turn it on. That's important. You'd be surprised how many people don't do that, or turn it on without water anyway. If you run the electric heating element, it'll damage it. And there's also a burner here, so it runs on both gas or electric. And the switches are inside. I'll show those to you. Just remember to always fill it up before you run it. Okay? Outside speakers. Your front stabilizers. So you have a hitch here. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. Some light in here. You have a awning light there. You have, I don't know if I can reach in there that far. Let me see here. You have 2 different cranks here. This long one here with the cylinder with a slot cut in it, that's to crank your stabilizer jacks manually if they happen to fail. I'll show you on the other side of the trailer where this would hook up, but that's just in case you have to manually operate them in an emergency. You can always get them up. And then this crank here, the smaller one, is for the power tongue jack in case it malfunctions, stops working, whatever. You can always get hitched and unhitched manually. You just pull the rubber plug on the top of the jack and put this crank on there and crank it manually. This is your hose here for your quick connect, and of course there's a sprayer on top of there, and that's your 50 amp 30-foot shore cord right there. Okay. Alrighty. So as we come around, this one's a little unique in that this has 2 lithium batteries, so that's why it has this lock on it, because they're so expensive. But it has 2 lithium batteries. They're wired together to output 12 volt, but they're real obviously high quality batteries. And make sure you read the paperwork on them or look at their online videos just so you understand them. But they have a built-in heater, and this lock here, it says Dexter on it. This you get 3 keys with it. I put them on the keychain or hooked it to the keychain, whatever. So you have a lock for that, and keys, and just to protect your expensive dual lithium batteries. Okay. Now this is a kill switch for the battery right here. Right now it's on, of course. If you ever want to shut them off, you can just shut it off by turning that knob. Okay. You have 2 LP tanks. They're both full. You got automatic changeover regulator. This is your power tongue jack here. And this is the cap you would pull off to put the crank on there if you need to crank it manually. You have a light on it. This is just if you wanted to purchase a solar battery charger. This one's made by Zamp. That's all that is a hookup for that if you wanted to buy their kit. It's just an option. You do have solar panel on the roof, so. Okay, so here's the other side of the pass-through. Now, this is prep for an inverter, just so you know. But this here is your solar controller, right? This is the controller of your solar panel. Now you need to download the app. Okay, so you go to Apple Store or the Google Place, whatever kind of phone you use, and you download the app and you'll be able to see everything you need to see about this. It goes into great detail, and it collects the history, all kinds of things. So you need to do that, even though you can run it with, you could just run it normally, I mean, if you want, but it's good to have the app. It just tells you everything. It tells you how much you're gaining from the sun, how much is being stored in your batteries, if your batteries are in bulk, or what charging position they're in. So it's important to have. This is something new this year also, and this is just a disconnect for the solar panel. So if you ever want to shut them off, you can just shut them off. They're on, of course, right now. So download the app for the solar controller. It tells you everything you need to know and stuff you don't even know what it means. I don't anyway. Now this is for your water here. The thing to know is this is your city water fill right here. That's the most common way to get water to the trailer. Now if you're camping someplace that doesn't have city water, you're boondocking, whatever, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank here and use the onboard pump to pump the water. So all the plumbing will work as though you have city water. This is a black tank flush here. So if you're after you dump your black tank at the dump station, you can leave the valve open. It's important to leave the valve open. You don't want too much pressure to build up, like I think it states that on that sticker there. But anyway, you leave the valve open, turn on the hose. It'll spray out your black tank, clean it out really well, and also spray off your sensors, so you get a good accurate reading from the black tank down the road. So it's good to do that. Obviously, just to keep your sensors clean is important. Okay, this is another hookup for that sprayer. Another place you can plug it in. Now you winterize your trailers through here, right? You'll make up a line. You can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or any hardware store. You get the fitting, a regular hose fitting for that, and you make the hose long enough to touch the ground, so you can put it into a gallon of antifreeze and use the water pump to draw it through. Okay, so right now your bypass is off, so your water heater's in the correct mode, and it's ready for summer. When you bypass in the winter time, before you pump any antifreeze in, you have to change these valves here. Okay, that's just this is the controller or the booster for the digital antenna right here, and these are the 2 switches for your stabilizers right here. One switch controls both front, the other one controls both rear. And well, we talked about that. I showed you the crank with the cylinder with a slot cut in it. Well, here we have a shaft with a pin through it, so that crank will fit right on there, and you can actually crank them up and down manually if you get into trouble. It's a good thing to have, a good option to have. So you got that. Okay, along with the power tongue jack, you can crank manually also. So your slide is, just so you know, it's called, this particular type is called an Accuslide. In case you need to know that, you have an Accuslide in this trailer. I showed you your shore cord in the front compartment there. This is just a shop cord here, but it's a 50 amp. Your black and gray valves here. We talked about, you know, If you use the black tank flush, you want to leave the black tank valve open. There's also another gray tank right there. That's gray tank number 2. So you have 1 black tank and 2 gray. Okay, so let me pick up the pace here. I have limited time to get these videos done before they start a new file. Storage here. You have a ladder, which is great. It makes it easy to inspect the roof. Manufacturer states you should inspect it every 60 days, so you want to send somebody up there, go up there yourself and look at the sealant, make sure there's no crack under separation or water could get through. Look at the roofing attachments and material, make sure nothing was damaged by low branches or road debris. You're just staying ahead of any potential problems. People generally don't inspect the roof enough. It should be part of your regular maintenance. So make sure you do that. That's important. Just so you know what's going on up there. This is telling us it's pre-wired for a backup camera here, if you're interested in that. Okay. So the thing that really makes this one unique are the dual lithium batteries. We're seeing more and more lithium batteries, but they're still not real common. People, if they want them, they add them themselves later on. But it's great because they're already set up from the factory. These are your keys here. These 3 that say Dexter on them are for your lock for your batteries. The purple ones are door. You got 2 for the front door, 2 for the rear door, and then these are compartment locks here, and that's a regular 751 key. Okay, and we'll hang them right here, right like that. So, okay, as we spin around, your thermostat works like any other thermostat. You're just going to go through the mode till you see what you want, and the fan, if they give you an option, always run the fan on auto. That's the best way to do it. Right now the AC is going on auto AC. When it comes to your awning, let me see if I can do this one-handed. Yes, it operates real simple. There's the light strip right there. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so it doesn't get damaged by the weather. This is the switch for your slide room here. Your water heater, if you want to run it on electric, which most people run it on electric, and then if they're using the shower and they need more water, they'll kick on the burner too, and it'll just give them a faster recovery. It's not on demand, but it's a lot faster than just the electric. So that's the typical way of running it. Always make sure there's water in the tank before you run it. When it comes to your water pump, we talked about pumping the water out of the fresh water tank. That's it right there. It's also used to winterize the trailer, of course. And then you have your levels. Batteries charged. Fresh water is full because we're in prep mode. Don't disregard the second black tank because you only have 1, and then you have 2 gray. Okay. All right. We'll dump those before you pick up. We'll leave some in your fresh water tank so you can operate it, but we'll dump your holding tanks. Okay. I'm just filled with water right now. So this is your power converter. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged into shore power, you have regular 110 AC circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled here. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. You see we got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So that converts AC to DC power. Everything that can run on DC power in this trailer does. Some things have to be AC, like the air conditioning and the microwave, things like that, but all the lights and different motors, and even anyway, everything that can run on 12 volt DC does. So also, this is a battery tender, so it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front needs, or batteries up front, and it'll keep them charged. Also, when you're pulling down the road, the tow vehicle will charge your batteries. And then intermediately with the sun, depending on the time of year, the weather conditions, the time of day, all that stuff, your solar panel will be charging the batteries also. once you have the app on your phone, you can look at it and you can know exactly how many amps you're gaining. You know, 4.7, 1.6, whatever it is, you'll be able to know, okay? All right. So, let's finish up here. You can lift this up and there's storage underneath. You have an emergency window here. You have TV hookups here. Your packet with all your stuff in it right here, all your literature and what have you. Excuse me. Advertisements for more apps that you can use. When it comes to your range, you have 3 knobs here for the 3 burners. This is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark it, and that's the oven knob there. So let's see what we got. Very simple. For the oven, there's a pilot light all the way at the back. I think we can probably see it spark, maybe not. So you're going to go to the picture of the pilot light and you depress the button. Then you're going to light it back there. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature, of course. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay, and always travel with this closed. Vent and light here. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator, so it works on 110 AC and LP gas. So let's just close this so we can see it. So it's on right now. The mode you got right now is auto. Auto is the best way to run it. It means auto electric. The reason they call it auto is because it automatically seeks out electricity. If it can't find it, it'll light it on gas. Or if you have a power failure in the middle of the day or the middle of the night, it'll sense that. The power failure at your campground, I mean. It'll sense that and it'll automatically light it on gas so it'll spoil your food. So you can also run it dedicated to gas like that. But auto electric is generally the way to go. The only other thing to remember is that this is the thermocouple here. You see that wire going up into this little plastic clip on the fin? Just make sure that's up all the way like it is. You can see the sticker tells you the higher you go with it, the cooler it is. So it makes it very, very simple. The rule of thumb is you're going to have it up as high as it goes almost always. If it gets cooler outside and it starts to frost up, you can back down. But generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. All right. So here we have your, well, that wasn't too slick, but I did it anyway. Okay, so this is your radio here, your stereo. It plays FM, AM, FM radio, right? It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. You've got a USB port to go in with a, put all your albums on one drive and take them with you, whatever. This HDMI is an in, so if you wanted to go in with, let's say, a portable Blu-ray player or something, you can plug right in there. It has 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it does everything you need and then some, okay? The TV works like any other TV. You have to strap it in place when you're traveling so it doesn't come flying out. It's on a swing out bracket, as you can see. Okay, we've got this all backwards here, but I'll straighten it out for you before you pick up. So remember, that's got to be strapped when you're traveling. This device here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it's not green, get it serviced, okay? If it goes off, obviously you shut off all the appliances. Take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on. The table can be dropped down onto these plastic cleats here. You can turn this into a bed. Alright, this, let's see what we got here. This is a hide-a-bed, so you pull the cushions right off, and then you would grab it here and unfold it. It's a 3-panel hide-a-bed. Okay. Your bunks are obviously right here, and you can put this in the up position, for example, to store things under there if you want. You could put 2 bicycles under there if you needed to, especially kids' bikes. Okay. Now the bathroom, sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Always remember to remember that this is a GFCI plug here, so all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. So if you're using something outside and it pops, you're going to reset it in here. All right, the toilet is an RV toilet, so it sits over a black tank. You have a flush pedal right here. You can't use a dry. By dry, I mean with no chemical or water in the black tank. So the first thing you do when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You'll put a dose of chemical in the bowl, then you'll step on the pedal. Water will come swirling out, and you'll put at least a gallon of water in there, and then you're all set till the next time you dump it. If you don't do that, if you use a dry, first of all, the smell will be terrible, super terrible, and not only that, it can get clogged up. So I always want to make sure you have power, or you have chemical and water in there. And then you have a vent fan here also. Okay, so let me look around and see if I forgot anything. I think we're in good shape. Okay, let me see what we have here. I didn't look through this, so I'm curious. So there's your TV remote there. Hold on, please. Sorry about the camera work. I gotta wrestle with this here. This is your stereo remote. These little clips hold your refrigerator door open when you want it to air it out. They're kind of handy. This is for the Accuslide. Up here, there's a place to attach this by the motor. The idea is you'd put it, it's flexible. You can put it on a drill, and if something bad was to happen to your slide out and stop working, you can get that on there, and you can actually run it in and out with a power drill. Okay, there'll be a square, this is number 3 square, there'll be a square on the motor itself where you hook this up to, okay? Alright, and the rest of it's literature. Make sure you read up about your batteries. It's important because they are lithium batteries, so you may know everything about them. I just have to assume that you don't, because most people don't. So, okay. I think that's it. So let me see here. Okay, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. One more thing. See, this right here is telling us this is pre-wired for it shows 4G. But the important thing is the Wi-Fi booster. That's what people would use it, buy it for. So the thing is, you can scan that code. It'll take you to the page where you can see what it costs and what it is. But it's basically it consists of an antenna on the roof, a Wi-Fi antenna. Then there's a router that's about 8 or 9 inches square, something like that we connect right there. So all your family's phones and tablets can connect to the router itself. You put the password to the router right into their phones, for example. Then in a browser, you go to the page for your gateway, this gateway device, and you'll be able to pick out let's say campground Wi-Fi, and then you would log on to it with that. The thing is, it gives you a much better signal. It's a signal booster, and if you use a lot of Wi-Fi, it's worth looking into anyway. Okay, so that's what that is. That's just another option. Okay, so like I said, thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof. That's very important. It should be part of your regular maintenance. And right now, this is all the antifreeze has been purged from the system, and it's been replaced with fresh water. Your water heater is in camping mode, and it's full with water right now, so you're all set. Remember, never run your water heater without water in it, okay? Thank you.